Hi, my name is Dr. Dave Margolius, and I am the Director of Public Health for the City of Cleveland. Today I want to talk about smoking. Cleveland has the highest smoking rate in the country, and smoking is the #1 preventable cause of death, disability, and disease in our country. Cleveland, I know we can do better. Please, if you have folks in your life who you love who smoke, encourage them to quit. If you are a smoker yourself, there is a way to quit. Call 1-800-QUIT-NOW, that's 1-800-QUIT-NOW, and we can lower our smoking rate in the city of Cleveland. Thank you.
Welcome to Age Friendly Cleveland. My name is Mary McNamara, and I'm the Director of Aging for the City of Cleveland. Across our country, we have what we call an aging network of services, because no one division of government, hospital system, agency, or faith-based organization provides all of the services an older adult might want or need to age successfully. As examples, some older adults may need transportation, or modifications to their home, or home health care, or resources to stay engaged after retirement. It is our hope with this Age Friendly Cleveland series that you might learn more about the resources right here in Cleveland. This next segment is about one of our trusted agencies or departments we work closely with every day to make Cleveland an age-friendly city. Welcome to Age Friendly Cleveland. I'm Mary McNamara, Director of Aging here at the City of Cleveland. Our topic today is tobacco use, and our guest with us is Catrice Miner, the Director of Community Health Initiatives at the Department of Public Health here at the City. Welcome, Catrice.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Catrice, let's get started. Tell us a little bit about yourself and the work you do at the Health Department.
Sure. So again, thank you for having me. It's great to be in the TV20 studio. Usually I'm on the other side of the camera, but this is fun, but I won't get too used to it. Recently I participated in a webinar, and one of the things that we were asked to do was to use 5 words only to describe ourselves. And I think those 5 words really encompass kind of a little bit about myself, but also a little bit about the work that I do for Cleveland Department of Public Health. And those 5 words were that I am an empathetic, attentive, dot-connecting, prevention promoter. And just a little bit about community health. Our overarching goal is to uncover potential barriers to health and well-being and to remove or minimize those barriers. So that might include advocating for systemic changes, for policy changes, but we also inform the public, we dispel dis and misinformation, and provide other non-clinical services. I wanted to talk just really quickly about the uncovering piece, because that's a big part of what we do. We like to engage with the community. Certainly we use data from our team of epidemiologists at the Cleveland Department of Public Health, and they're really good at telling us what's happening, when it's happening, where it's happening, but a large part of what we do in community health is engaging, because that helps us learn why something is happening. And one of the issues that has been a focal point of ours more recently is smoking. In particular, smoking within the city of Cleveland, partly because the rate is very high, like 1 in 3 Clevelanders smoke. And it's very pressing among older adults, because as rates continue to drop across the US, not necessarily in Cleveland, rates for older adults continue to stay static. So there's some missing link that we're not necessarily reaching our older adults.
And Catrice, if someone is looking to quit smoking, which I know is hard, where do they start?
So I think the first thing they should do is find a reason for quitting. I don't think that something so hard to do can be done just on a whim. There has to be a reason. For someone, it might be because you are pregnant and you don't want to smoke while pregnant, because that could lead to a premature birth and it puts your child at risk. You might be a person who has to undergo surgery and your doctor is advising you to quit smoking to improve your outcomes. You might want to stop smoking because aesthetically you want to look better. Smoking can age you, and I mean, who doesn't want to look better? So you might want to do it for that reason. But I think the first step is just figuring out why you want to do it. And then once you figure out why you want to do it, you have to develop a plan. Because if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And we know that. And smoking is so difficult that if you don't have a plan, the likelihood of you failing increases. And with that, I think one of the other important aspects of this journey is to figure out a date. Set a date. Set a date and stick to that date. And as you approach that date, make sure you have a plan in place so that you can withstand the cravings and the withdrawal and all the other aspects of that journey that will try to put you back where you were to smoking.
I like that a lot. A reason, a plan, and a date. And so what are some of the resources out there to help someone who's gotten that far? They've got a reason.
Okay. Well, there are several things that you can consider. There's a physical aspect to smoking. It is literally putting something to your mouth, and that is a habit within itself, just breaking that habit. And smoking sometimes is associated with other activities. So in order to counter that, you have to distract yourself. You have to take advantage of programs, counseling, medication, which I'll talk a little bit more in depth about those in a minute. But I did want to share another tool that I know that myself and other colleagues use, and it's a Quit Kit.
Okay.
And basically, for me, it's this little pouch that says love what you do, but it could be anything that you have.
The Quit Kit.
Quit Kit. And in it are different tools that you can use to, again, help you with your cravings, with withdrawal, with being distracted so that you're not thinking about smoking. So I mentioned having something to put up to your mouth. This is a reusable straw. Some people use a toothpick. Some people use just plastic straws, but if you're being environmentally friendly, a reusable one is great.
Okay. So it sort of mimics a cigarette.
It mimics that act of putting a cigarette to your mouth, which is helpful. We talked about earlier having a reason. I mean, there's different ways to kind of remind you of your reason for wanting to quit smoking. There's a chocolate company, they will remain nameless, but they have these wrappers that have little sayings on them. And you might want to put a couple sayings in your Quit Kit. Like this one says, your vibe attracts your tribe. So if you're trying to create a different vibe by not smoking, you will hopefully attract other non-smokers. This one says, when life isn't going right, go left.
I like it.
And this one is, keep life moving forward, looking backward is only for time travelers. So
some motivation.
If, like, say, for example, you're quitting because of your children, you want to see them graduate or something like that, maybe you have some token or something that reminds you of them. So in my Quit Kit, I have this little button. It's a cheetah. My children, when they were younger, pretended as if they were cheetahs, and I was a cheetah mom. Nowadays, I'm just a hyena, but it still reminds me of them. And if that is part of the reason why I want to go through this journey to become smoke-free, this is a good reminder. Mints are helpful. Again, something to suck on, mimics that sucking motion, and different kinds of mints. You can do Starburst, you can do anything that will help you withstand some of the cravings and withdrawals from smoking. I did want to mention too that in addition to the Quit Kit, that there are a number of factors outside of yourself. Like, I think it's good to know that if a person wants to quit, that there is a way to quit. But I also wanted to take a couple minutes to just talk about access and ease of access, and how we need to be mindful that just because a person wants to do it, we in community health and public health have to figure out ways to help make them successful, or help make the easier or the better for them choice an easier one to make. And one of those issues that we've brought up in the past is just access to tobacco products. And it's been helpful having policy like Tobacco 21 that helps delay access for young kids, and we've seen rates drop. But for older adults, I think we need to think about access too, and how easy it is for people to get cigarettes or any other kind of tobacco product. Because again, it's not just about agency, it's about access. And I want folks at home to think about this, like if they don't think that access matters, there's a little experiment in behavioral health science where, let's say you're at your desk and you put a jar of candy on your desk and it's within arm's reach. Over a week's time, see how much of that candy you actually eat. A week goes by, let's say you eat 10. Put the same number of candy in the jar to start with, but then put it, maybe 4 feet away where you actually have to get up and then go over and get the candy. You probably will eat less of the candy. So as best you can when you're going on this journey, if we're not doing things to limit access, try to limit access yourself. So that might be taking a different route to work so you don't pass your favorite convenience store, or gas station, or wherever you get your tobacco products. It could be small things like that that can help you on your journey.
So Catrice, I know a question we hear a lot is, there's some tobacco cessation programs out there that people can access, whether it's nicotine patches or other medical things. Does insurance cover that? How does that work for people who are looking for that kind of treatment?
So I would first, there's 2 different routes that I would say you take. And the first route is for those who are insured. Most insurance plans, but definitely check with your insurance providers, will cover some level of tobacco cessation. That could include tobacco cessation medications, including nicotine replacement therapy. That's the patches, the gum, those items can be covered. They'll cover counseling sessions typically. And you have the option of doing, in-person counseling sessions. You may do virtual counseling sessions. You may do group. You may do individual. You have to figure out kind of what works best for you. And for each person, the journey will be different. But typically, your insurance providers will cover the cost of that. And most insurance providers, because they understand that quitting isn't usually a one and done thing, you have to try multiple times, but it's still possible. They will cover the services, like the counseling, for example, or a quit attempt, as they might call it, maybe twice a year. So if it takes you 2 times to try, if it takes you 4, over time, your insurance company typically will be able to cover the cost of that. I will say for individuals who are uninsured or underinsured, there are still resources available. One resource is the Quit Line. That Quit Line is available to anyone, 24 hours a day. The cost is free, whether you have insurance or not. I will give you the number for the Quit Line. There is an online form, but I know most of the viewing audience might want to be able to call. But the Ohio Quit Line number is 1-800-662-4357. I'll give it again. It's 1-800-662-4357.
We'll put that up on the screen too for viewers.
Awesome. And then myself and a few of my colleagues at Cleveland Department of Public Health, we recently were trained in the American Lung Association's Freedom from Smoking program. So we are now trained facilitators, and we are in the process of putting together classes to be able to offer free of charge to Cleveland residents. We plan to do those at least once a quarter. The first step in being able to take advantage of those or that particular class, which will also include some nicotine replacement therapy and hopefully a quick kit, is to call 311. We do have an online interest form, but if you don't have access to the internet or that's not your preference, you can call 311 and they'll connect you to us to be able to get you to complete that form, and then we'll be able to get you enrolled into that program. So there are a number of resources.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, and I think what people should remember is that nicotine is highly addictive. It is not something that you should take lightly if you decide that you want to stop smoking. I would tell people to take advantage of all the resources that are available to you. You know, you can do group counseling through your health center, and then also call the Quit line. You can do group counseling with us and also call the Quit line. Use all the resources that are available to you because smoking is very difficult to quit.
Catrice, as we're on the Age Friendly show, can you share some of the benefits for older adults of quitting? I know I've heard from people, well, I'm advanced in age, what really is it going to matter? And does it matter to quit smoking at, say, 80, 85?
Absolutely. My colleagues and anyone else who provides smoking cessation services or are in the area of supporting people who would like to take the journey to become smoke-free will tell you that no matter how many cigarettes you've smoked or how much tobacco you've used, how long you've used it, there is a benefit to quitting. And the benefits may be different depending on that, but there is still some benefit to doing it. And when it comes to older adults, one of the issues with smoking as an older adult is that it exacerbates other conditions that you may have. So osteoporosis, for example, or eye issues can be worse when you smoke. Lung issues, emphysema, COPD, all of those can be worse when you smoke as an adult, or it makes it worse if you smoke as an older adult. So quitting can help with that. And for anyone, quitting tobacco will definitely help extend your life. And also make your quality of life better, because outside of death, tobacco, well, let's say this, for every one person that tobacco kills, 30 people will have some disease or disability that's associated with smoking. So quitting at any age, at any point, will help with your quality of life.
And not to mention save some money.
And save some money.
And save some money.
Save some money. I believe right now the average cost of a year's supply of tobacco might be $3,500, maybe.
Wow.
Getting closer to $4,000. And that just depends on how much you smoke too.
Sure.
Yeah.
Catrice, I've learned a lot in this segment.
Great.
And I know people can go to the Cleveland Department of Public Health website. There's the phone number, the resources you've shared. Is there anything else you want to tell viewers as we come to a close?
I think I just want to reiterate that smoking is difficult. Nicotine is addictive. Do not go at it alone. You are more successful if you use the resources that are available to you and use some of these tips and tools, and that it's never too late.
I like that. There's a lot of people that have quit smoking, and so I would imagine tapping your network to ask them how they've also quit smoking.
And there are more former smokers than there are current smokers. So
okay.
It's possible, it's doable. People have done it, and you can too.
That's great. Well, thank you, Catrice, for joining us
Absolutely.
today, and thank you to our viewers for watching Age Friendly Cleveland. I'm Mary McNamara. We'll see you next time.
Hi, my name is Dr. Dave Margolius, and I am the Director of Public Health for the City of Cleveland. Today I want to talk about smoking. Cleveland has the highest smoking rate in the country, and smoking is the #1 preventable cause of death, disability, and disease in our country. Cleveland, I know we can do better. Please, if you have folks in your life who you love who smoke, encourage them to quit. If you are a smoker yourself, there is a way to quit. Call 1-800-QUIT-NOW, that's 1-800-QUIT-NOW, and we can lower our smoking rate in the city of Cleveland. Thank you.